Hello everyone, I am Imran Ali, Assistant Professor, Department of MBA, Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Greater Noida. This is lecture 22, unit 3, where I am going to discuss about inventory classification system. In the where I will discuss various methods through which inventory can be classified. It could be ABC method of the classification. Next, it is BAD classification, and next it is HML classification. So, these are the different technique and method through which items can be classified in a particular organization. Inventory classification system, items held in inventory are not of equal importance in terms of the money invested, profit potential and sales or usage volume. So, whatever items are being held in the organization, all the items are not same in their importance. The items vary in their importance. So, organization had to understand, organization had to classify and know which of the items are important for the organization and which are the items which are not very much important for the organization. So, these items can be classified in a different category. Those items which are rarely being used or the item which are not very frequently used, they can be classified in a different category. So, inventory classification system objective is to keep or to segregate the item which are into the inventory or the product that are being kept into the inventory into different category, into different group based on their importance. Here I have taken certain parameter on which we made certain grouping. First, it is money invested into. So, those item where the company has made lot of investment or those equipment or those product which are very costly, we can cap into category 1 or classification 1. Those products which have the moderate level of profitability or least potential for profitability, we can keep into the category C, or if they are having higher potential for profitability or they can contribute maximum to the overall sales of the organization, we can keep in the category A. Similarly, if they are they are contributing to the overall sales significantly, we can keep these item or product into the category A. If these item do not contribute very significantly, we can keep them into the item C. So, these this classification that we are using to classify our product into either category A, B or C, it is based on the importance and contribution to the organization. How does these items or the product are contributing to the overall business of the organization? We can understand it that all product cannot contribute same, or all the item or the product are not same in their importance in the organization. So, every product carries its own importance, every product has its own significance in the overall development of the business in the company. So, based on then we have to develop certain classification. These parameters that I had shared with you to classify the inventory, they are not universal. Business organization can keep and can develop their own parameters to classify the item as per their business they are into, as per their product that they are dealing with, depending upon their nature of business or the nature of the product that they are selling in the market. A more reasonable approach would be to allocate control efforts to the relative importance of various items in the inventory. So, we are expected to devote more control toward those items, toward those products where we identify or we say that they are contributing maximum to the organization or they are contributing highest toward the development of the organization. So, there are several methods, 3-4 methods I will also discussing. So there are 2-3 methods that I will be using for ABC classification. So the first it is about the ABC classification, which help in policy formulation. So ABC classification or any classification, what does it do? It assists or help the organization to formulate a policy for the business or for the organization, that what kind of strategy or action the organization had to undertake. Next, factors like high storage, holding cost or delivery need to be taken into account, which is likely to impact the classification of the organization or into the businesses also. So, we need to just realize that how does this classification need to be taken. So, this is the criteria that I am going to be discuss, that how we can put the goods into category A, how we can keep the goods into category B, and how we can keep the goods into category C. It is a broad criteria that any company or any business organization can use while they are having their inventory or they are keeping their inventory. So, just for example, the goods that are in the category A, we are having a criteria that they are covering the cost of 70 to 80%. I mean to say, those items which cover or cater to the 70 to 80% cost of the items can be classified as item A. They can be classified as item A. Now, that cost which fall in the bracket of 15 to 25%, they can be classified as item B, and those item which covers or cater only to the 5% of the overall cost, they can be classified as item C. So, this classification that I shared just explained, it is based on the overall cost that the items are having or covering. So, those items which will be covering or attributing to the larger portion of the overall cost of the inventory, they will be classified as item A. Those who are in between 15% to 25%, they will be putting into the category B, and third one which are in between of 5%, they can be classified as item C. And we say if the cost is high, the volumes are low. If the cost is low, then the volumes are high. I mean to say, in a company there may be certain item or the goods, they are less in terms of the cost, but in terms of the volume they are larger. On the other hand, the items or the product into the inventory which are catering to the larger portion of the of our overall cost, but they are having only 15% of their volume. So, these are this is being classified as item A, item B and item C, and this classification is based on ABC classification, and we are taking this classification considering this cost as a parameter. Now, let us see a numerical that this is the information we are giving with here into the these are the coding for stock. Into the second column, it is number of volume of a specific item, that is coded as 206, 200 of stock, that is coded as 105, and so on. Cost, it is being mentioned over here. The first what we need to do, we need to calculate the total cost, and how the total cost can be calculated. If this portion it is being multiplied by this, our total cost will come, and we will we will calculate the total cost of all the stock item, and then we will take the percentage of each item in relation to the total cost, and we easily can understand that this items which are into the stock, how much percent they are having of the total cost. So, if these items are catering to the 80% of the total cost, they will be classified as items A. If they are in catering or covering the cost 15% to 25%, they can be kept as item B, or if they are only covering 5% or less than, they can be classified or mentioned as item C. So, this classification we will take as per their cost of contribution into their total cost. Now, just see over here, it is total cost is being calculated, this has been multiplied by this by this by this, we get this value, and it is how the total cost has came. Now, we have taken the percentage this upon this into 100. So, its individual percentage of the cost has came around, and then we have taken the cumulative percentage of each. Now, in the first case, we have see that up to 80%, the item which are covering the cost up to 80%, they are being classified as item A. I repeat, those items which are catering up to 80% of the cost are being classified as item A, and those items which are approximately capturing to 5%, they are classified as C. I had discussed the criteria in the beginning, that 70 to 80% item covering the cost are being classified as item A. Items which are catering 5% or less than the cost, they are being classified as item C, and the remaining they are being classified as item B. So, this classification that we have taken based on the total cost indicate or tells the organization that which items are more important and which items are less important, and based on this importance, organization can develop their policy or strategy with respect to that particular. Again, same question on the same pattern, the question is there, we are having these stocks, volumes are being given, and we can multiply by the cost, the total cost will came. So, we can do similar for each of the item like this. We will be driving the total cost. If this each cost of his upon this multiply by 100, individual percentage can be calculated, then cumulative percent will be calculated, and based on this cumulative percentage we can calculate and sum which items are contributing more important and which of the items are contributing less to the organization. Let us see. This is how if we multiply volume by cost, we got 90,000. If 500 as a volume being multiplied by cost 154, these have been got. If 1555 we got cost multiplied with the, so this is what the total cost we have obtained, and we will take percentage this upon total into 100 individual, this value upon this into 100. So, this is how we can calculate the individual percentage of the total cost for each stock or individual stock. Then we will move to cumulative percentage, and based on the cumulative percentage we will classify that which of the items can be classified as A, which of the items can be classified as C, and which of the items can be classified as B. Next, it is about the VED, VED classification. VED classification refers to, it is vital, essential and desirable. Vital, essential and desirable. This VED classification is by and large used in classification of spare parts, equipments. So, in the parts or spare parts, we will try to say that which are the items that can be classified as vital, which are those items that can be classified as vital, whose unavailability will stop the production. So, these are those items that are very important for the organization. If organization do not have the sufficient inventory, or company do not have the sufficient into number, the production of the organization is going into problem. So, this is what it is vital, vital, and vitals are those parts which are very critical for the organization and are very likely to impact the overall production of the organization. Next, it is about essential whose stock out cost are very high. If these items get out of stocks, it is likely to impact badly to the overall business organization. So, these items are essential and it is desirable, it is essential for the organization that these items should remain with the organization for as an inventory. Next, it is desirable, mini stock out cost, no impact on the overall production. So, although these are the these are the items, these are the spare parts only which are desirable, even in case they are not there in the business, they are not in the company, their stock out is not likely to impact to the overall operation much badly. So, this is what the VED classification. VED, it is vital, it is essential and it is desirable. Vitals are those equipment and the parts, they are very critical and important for the organization. If they are not there in the inventory, they are not there into the businesses, they are going to impact the overall production flow or overall production operation negatively. Next, these essential, these are the items or the equipment that are required to be there, and if they are out of stock or inventory, their cost is likely to be very high. Next, it is about desirable, mini stock cost, and they are very common and generally they are there into the market. In case even they are out of the stock, overall production or overall manufacturing process is very likely to be impacted. I mean to say, they are not going to have much impact into. Vital VED classifications can be applied into all manufacturing company like Maruti Suzuki, Hero Motocross, Bajaj Auto, General Motors, Ford, any manufacturing organization where larger machinery and equipments are being used, Eicher, General Electric and so forth. Next classification, third, it is HML classification, and HML classifications are based on the unit cost. We had discussed ABC classification and we try to calculate overall cost by per unit cost and the volume. Then we calculated the cumulative percentage, and based on that we have calculated that the items which cover the 70 to 80% of the total cost, they can be classified A. Those into 15 to 25% they can be classified as item B. Less than or nearby 5% they can be classified as item C. Into vital, we have seen that vitals VED, it is vital, essential and desirable, which is more applicable into the manufacturing where the equipment, where the parts are largely used, and we are trying to understand the importance of the equipment, importance of the tool, because the production flow or manufacturing process is more based on these tools. If they are available, our production flow will be continue. If they are not there, they are not available, our production flow will be is not into the use. Next, the third one, it is about the HML classification, and HML classification, it is based on unit cost. So, unit cost, it is could be the unit cost of the equipment or the product is high, equipment or the unit cost of the product is medium or moderate, and the equipment cost for the product is very low. So, those items which are very costly, their per unit price is very high, organization will put more concentration over their company will try to keep them as an inventory, and they will try to maintain as an inventory till the time these steps are being in the interest of the continuous production flow. Next, these are the certain item whose price or individual cost is moderate, and they are not catering to the much cost to the organization. And last, there are few product that are having low cost into the total cost or total price. Their contribution is very meaningless. So once their contribution into the total price is very low, organization may not put much concentration, the organization will not give more controlling effort to them, because these goods are not very important to them. And into the on the other hand, if the products are contributing or capturing to the larger portion of the total price, company will try to cover the entire portion of that. Next, it is about the SED classification, and SED classification, it is known as scarce, it is difficult and easy. SD classification is applicable more into supply chain or supplying or sourcing of the goods from other countries or from outside the organization. So, we will try to ensure through SD classification that which are the items that are very difficult to obtain, and which are the items or the raw material or the equipment which are very difficult to easy to obtain or which are very difficult to obtain. So, the item which are very difficult to obtain, which are running short of supply, which are very difficult to obtain either within India or from abroad, organization will classify them into a different category, and their controlling efforts on these goods is going to be very different. We have seen nearby 2018 or 17, the coal was not available in much quantity in India, and it was difficult for all power companies to get this to run their power plant. At that point of time, since the coal was in shortage, supply of the coal was not much, power companies was facing a scarcity of the supply, and company classified this as a scarce item because it was difficult for them to obtain. So, they try to develop, they identify certain alternative in case the Coal India Limited is not in the position to supply it on time, then where from they will sources or they will be taking or purchasing their coal. So, some of the company had decided they will be importing, they had identify some other alternative. Some of the company has established their own captive mine which can be used for their own businesses only. So, this was the items that I saw that it is very difficult to identify. We can say that during COVID-19 there were certain drugs which were highly required and they were running short of supply. It is India which keeps supply to several other countries where the demand was there, because every patient was needing that particular drugs or tablet in order to get from that particular disease. So, at that particular point of time, these drugs or tablet has become scarce because their supplies was in shortage and it was difficult to get away or to take up from them. Next, there are certain items which are difficult into, I mean to say, these are the certain items which are available domestically, but are difficult item to procure, like the procure from distant so the difficulty came into existence, it is into supplying of those goods. For example, the certain equipment or certain raw material, it is available within the country, but since the distance is so large and it took so much time to come from one place to the another place, therefore its accessing it's become very difficult. So, these items, these equipment or the raw material can be classified as difficult one, because their supplying is going tough and they are very difficult to get away. Next, it is about the easier, these there is no difficulty, availability is very common, anybody can purchase this, anybody can purchase in as much quantity as they are preferring. So, this SD classification, it is based on supply, and these SD classification is related with which of the items are easy to supply and which of the items are difficult to supply, and then we will be classifying each of them. So, I am going to discuss each of them one by one, and we can easily understand considering the COVID-19 scenario and which of the items are easier to find out, especially into the pharmaceutical industries and several other sector too. So, scarce, it refers to generally imported items that require longer lead time and often are shorter supply like imported item. So, scarce items are those that are not available in India. Businessmen as an individual or organizations are bound to purchase them or import them from other countries. So, if we have to import them, we have to purchase them other than our own country, these are being classified as scarce item. Next, we had to see here these items do have a longer lead time. These items are require a longer lead time. Lead time. Lead time is what? It is the time that when we have placed the order and when these orders items are being supplied to the company. It is important. Lead time, it is the time when you have placed the order and when company has supply you the goods. There may be more lead time for certain goods and there may be a less lead time for certain goods. So, if the lead time is short one, you need not to keep much inventory and these items may not be classified as difficult or scarce one. But if the lead time is very high and it took much time to place the order and ultimately the goods reach to you, then it is being classified as scarce. Next, it is the difficults, they are available in India, but distance is very high. So, we need to just devise certain ways and a mechanism how these difficult items can be get. And next, last, it is about the easy. It refers to the item which are freely available that are often procured quickly and locally. So, these items are not difficult to get away. So, it was all about the inventory classification system, where we have studies about various way how our inventory can be classified in other way. Thank you so much.